Hey, everybody, welcome to this latest episode of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning just for you. As always, I'm your humble host, Van Eberts, and I will be your tour guide on this voyage that we are going over today called World War Z. Yes, and, basically we are just going to make you jump. Yeah, there you go. So just to warn you, she might be making an appearance a few more times during the show. Yeah, it's that kind of show tonight. Okay, we got zombies, we got ghouls, we've got Brad Pitt. One of those is not like the other, okay, or others, I should say. But yeah, hopefully you're going to be strapped in and ready to rock as we do this retro review. I don't do retro reviews all that often, but when we have nothing but dreck, nothing but shit in the for new movies at the box office, then it's time to, bust out some classics, bust out, the golden oldies. Some of the oldies aren't so golden, but, this one, I believe, is good old World War Z with Brad Pitt. And, hopefully everybody that has seen World War Z, or maybe some that haven't seen it and don't care about it being spoiled, hey, I hope you guys join me. And then go ahead and get in the live chat. I'll just say that right from the get-go. Yeah, get in the live chat on Rumble or YouTube, and forward this to your friends, recommend this to your friends, be like, oh man, you know somebody that's seen World War Z and you think they'd get a kick out of checking out this spoiler show about World War Z and a chance to discuss World War Z in depth. Definitely let them know all about it. And again, they can live chat with me on Rumble and YouTube. Any questions, any comments they have, whatever they want to get in touch with me all about, we can definitely do that, and of course I don't want them to miss this. Hey, good looking. So, hey, before we get too far into World War Z, let me give you something to dance to.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
Yes, my movie maniacs, my fellow Freedom Fuel film fanatics, welcome again to this Movies Merica spoiler warning, latest edition, latest version, latest episode. And make sure to like this video, like this show, and then follow down below. Excuse me. Woo! I'm getting all choked up over here. And then also hit the notification bell down at the bottom so you get notified of all kinds of new episodes of World War Z. Movies Merica, spoiler warning, whenever those come up. And that's typically every Thursday night at 7 Eastern, okay? So let me take care of this little coughing fit here with a little hydration. Oh, yeah. All right. Hopefully it didn't sound too gross. Gotta stay hydrated. This is hard work. Hard work. Okay. So you know what? Let's get right into World War Z. Why don't we, huh? Let's do it. So let's get a little World War Z image action going on there. And so right off the jump, I'll tell you, don't watch the theatrical version of World War Z. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. You can find the unrated cut of World War Z very easily. It's out there. And, I think if you buy it on hard copy, you definitely can find the unrated cut right there. I don't know if you try to stream it or something like that, or watch it on HBO or, whatever, you probably are going to get the theatrical cut. So, but yeah, go out there and, you should be buying hard copies of movies anyway. Okay. Don't stream them. Don't save them on a hard drive because, not to be Mr. Conspiracy Theorist, but you never know in the future if authorities or whoever, some censorship, types, that just this, they write love sonnets to censorship. Might just kind of like take your little version you have downloaded to your hard drive and just change it up a little bit. Maybe take the guns out or something like that. In the future. So that's why I'm like, hey, I'm going to buy hard copies of movies. I used to all the time. Then I stopped for a while, and now I'm really starting to ramp up buying hard copies of movies so that some censorship dickhead in the future that doesn't like guns can't modify my movie there. So kind of like they did with the French Connection here recently. They took out some offensive phrases out of the French Connection, the version that's on streaming or people that have it saved on their hard drive, I believe. But anyway, I went down a whole rabbit hole down there that I didn't mean to. But all that to say is, watch the unrated cut. It's so much better because there might be a lot of you out here that just think like World War Z. It's not that great of a movie. It's all because you watch the theatrical version. The unrated cut is just that much better. And it's got some, better bona fide, zombie gore in it. Now, it's not as gory, not near as gory as like The Walking Dead or Dawn of the Dead or any of those movies right there. But it does have a little bit more believable zombie blood and guts and that kind of thing in it. And then also it's longer. It's got some scenes in there that I think add some good development to the movie here. And let's check out old live chat here. We got hey, the original Demolition Man. We got Mr. J. Smith. Is that who I'm saying right there? Yeah. Where Taco Bell was the only food place to survive the restaurant wars, and now it says Pizza Hut. Yeah, I thought it was hilarious about Demolition Man. Yeah, where Taco Bell won the restaurant wars. It's the only restaurant in the future right there. And I can think of some worse, fast food places to survive the restaurant wars. Thank God Schlotsky's didn't win the restaurant wars in the future, or Burger King or something like that. So thank God. Taco Bell. Yeah, I could Taco Bell. They made the right choice, but now it says Pizza Hut. I don't know about that. Yeah, I mean, you got to keep me up to date on that. But hey, thanks for joining the show here in live chat, man. Definitely, and we should be able to get some others in the live chat to join you there. But hey, have you seen World War Z? Any comments? Any favorite parts? Anything like that? So, I can't find a copy of the original anywhere. Of Demolition Man or World War Z. So. Yeah, but are you serious? It says Pizza Hut and Demolition Man instead of Taco Bell. See, that's what I'm talking about. If that is the case, then they can do that. If you just have some copy downloaded on your hard drive, downloaded from wherever, then they got your IP address or whatever. They can of Demolition Man. Okay, appreciate you clarifying that there. Yeah, that is no good, obviously. Okay, so we definitely don't want that. You want the original creation sustained in its original format, right? It's original iteration. And get the hard copies of that. So thanks for keeping me updated on that. You bet. So World War Z, it's hardly like the book at all, as you may have heard, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Now the book is basically the main character is a document or an interviewer who's going around. He's interviewing people that fought in World War Z, like so in past tense, fought in World War Z, and so it's not like a character like Gerry Lane that Brad Pitt plays in the movie. Okay, he's not a UN investigator. I believe he is associated with the UN in the book, but he's like just some interviewer that's going around. Like he works for 60 Minutes or something like that. He's Mike Wallace and going around and interviewing, people that survived World War Z, and they tell their tales and that kind of thing. So it is. So I don't know how exciting a movie that would be if you stuck to the book verbatim. I've heard some people talk about like, well, why don't you take like one of the chapters out of the book and turn that into a movie? And they make it sound, and they could be right. They make it sound like you could just make 9, 10, 11 World War Z movies, each one just based off of a chapter of the World War Z movie, And I would agree. Yeah, the World War Z movie is good enough. It's a good zombie movie all around. Yeah, it is exactly. It probably is best to the people that didn't even know that there's a World War Z book out there. And then the next level would be, there's a World War Z book out there, but you don't give a shit whether the movie is anything like it. You just want to be entertained, and as long as the movie does that, it entertains you, then you're good. And this movie, yeah, it entertained me. The unrated cut did. The theatrical version I was kind of frustrated with, and the first time I saw World War Z was the theatrical cut, and I remember at the end of it, I was like, "That's it, really?" Because the movie felt so rushed, and that may partly have to do with the fact that the production of World War Z was pretty turbulent. Okay, it's pretty chaotic and whatnot. So, and I kind of touched on that in my spoiler-free review that came out back on Sunday there. But yeah, it was just a shit show as far as the production. Told you she could attack at any time. But they had like over budgeting going on, and Brad Pitt and Marc Forster, the director, eventually they were at each other's throats, and they were not seeing eye to eye, and it eventually got so bad that they just wouldn't even talk to each other on the set of this movie. And so just turbulence and chaos and catastrophe all over the place, which makes it even more amazing that at least the unrated cut turned out to be a pretty entertaining movie. I mean, it turned out to be a pretty cohesive and cogent and understandable movie. It wasn't. It's not confusing. It doesn't hop all over the place, in a confusing way. And so yeah, they got all over that, and it's amazing that they jumped that hurdle and made an entertaining movie. So it's better to just forget about the World War Z book, okay, and just separate the two. I mean, obviously, the filmmakers did. Really the only thing that this movie has in connection with the book is the title, and then I think the intelligence expert there in Jerusalem that Brad Pitt talks to, the guy that tells him about the 10th man concept. He's in the book, and then I think that's pretty much the end of all the similarities between movie and book. So, pardon me. Hey, you know what? And drink them if you got them. If you guys are drinking, let me know what you're drinking in the chat. By all means, I definitely want to hear about it. Let's check out what we got here in the live chat. Pitt greater than Wallace for sure. Yeah, no doubt. So especially now, Wallace is dead. Walking Dead opened me up to shows different than the book that are still good. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Walking Dead is like a good kind of a gateway drug of sorts, to zombie movies and shows and that kind of thing. And I remember the first time watching The Walking Dead, because I didn't see it right when it debuted. I think I saw it like maybe right as the second season was debuting. I kept hearing good things about it. So I started watching, obviously, the first episode of the first season. And I remember just being shocked at how gory it was. I was like, holy shit, this is on TV? Holy shit. Like, they're ripping bodies apart and tearing guts out and blood and guts and all that stuff. And yeah, I know it was on AMC. It wasn't like on CBS or ABC or, anything like that, but it's still not, it's not premium cable. Okay. It's not HBO or Showtime. It's AMC. Not that I was disappointed. I'm like, yeah, I love this. I like my zombie movies and TV shows good and gory, so, but yeah, so Walking Dead, I hear you, man. I hear you. That's definitely probably a common tale that Walking Dead opened them up to shows, different than the book. And yeah, so again, yeah, amazing. The movie came out as good as it did. And it sounds like you were pleased with the plot and acting and special effects. They hit it all squarely, I think. Cheers. And he's drinking sweet tea with a show of Crown. Absolutely. All right. So yeah, cheers to you, mate. Absolutely. Oh yeah. And yeah, I mean, yeah, the acting was good. I mean, I think Brad Pitt is, just fantastic in this. I mean, he's like the star of the movie that I did a review of last week, the Equalizer 3 with Denzel. It's like Brad Pitt is like Denzel in that they both can elevate a otherwise shitty movie, higher than it would be otherwise, okay? And not that World War Z is a shitty movie, but Brad Pitt, he adds gravitas to his role as Gerry in this movie, and doing a shot, nice. But yeah, so yeah, his acting is pretty good in this. I did like James Badge Dale's acting. You know, he was very brief, but James Badge Dale played a army soldier in South Korea when he was there. It looked like he was like the squad leader, and he had a small but memorable role in this. And then David Morse was in this very briefly as like the toothless, crazed CIA agent that Gerry Lane runs into in South Korea. The jailed, crazy ass CIA agent. So David Morse does a memorable, crazy, whacked out turn in this. So yeah, good acting. Visual effects are fantastic. I mean, they mostly hold up even today, 10 years later, over 10 years later. I just love how like all the helicopter shots and just the helicopter action in this, and then just the great dolly shots that they do on a lot of the attacks, and then just the way that they structured the action sequences and like just the claustrophobic spaces and locations that the action was in. I think particularly like when they're in Jerusalem and they're running in that between those, that tight space between those buildings, and they got like the wired grates, the kind of cages that they're running through, and then the zombies are jumping off of roofs and landing on top of this big grate, this great tunnel, I guess. And then the one soldier the soldiers get like picked up, because remember, these zombies or Zeeks in World War Z, these aren't like the slow zombies, right, that you see in The Walking Dead and a lot in most zombie movies. I mean, these fuckers are fast, okay, and they're strong, and they can, they pick up, full-grown soldiers, with full body packs and full kits, and pick them up. And they have the one soldier that gets picked up, out of the cage, and they pull him up, and another one like has a grenade. He detonates a grenade, because obviously he doesn't want to be turned into a human Happy Meal, right? And so he pulls a grenade, detonates it, explodes the cage, and all of a sudden all the fucking zombies are like, chasing after Brad Pitt. They break in, and now they got access and whatnot. So it's just frenetic, kinetic, crazy fucking action. And it's filmed so well. And yeah, you know what? I had my doubts because like Marc Forster, the movie that I knew him for before this was the dud James Bond movie, Quantum of Solace, the second in the Daniel Craig series. And I thought that was just a dud of a James Bond movie. I didn't think that the action in that was that great. So my impressions of Marc Forster when I heard that he was directing World War Z, like, really? Really? Are you kidding me? What do we got here? I haven't seen Equalizer 3 yet, but I like to listen to Denzel's inspiration and motivational videos. He's got a great real-life story and view of the world. Yes, he does. I tell you, I just love, like, he just tells it the way it is, even when, he's in Hollywood, he's going to interview in the red carpet or something, and, the sniveling, weaselly entertainment reporter from, like, Extra or Access Hollywood is, trying to bait him on some woke shit, or something like that. And when Denzel Washington, spots that, or they say something that perturbs him, he doesn't hesitate for a millisecond to make them sorry that they even raised a fucking microphone to his face. Okay. And I love it. He just doesn't give a shit. Okay. He doesn't cater to the Hollywood machine. I mean, he just says what's on his mind with reckless abandon, I shouldn't say reckless abandon, but with wisdom, the wisdom of an older gentleman like he is. And he does have a great life story. I mean, yeah, just, it's very inspirational. I like watching, like you said, the inspiration and motivational videos. Yeah, jump on YouTube or Rumble, and I don't know if they're on Rumble, but like, yeah, just look up like Denzel inspirational videos on YouTube. And yeah, if you're having to drag your ass to work on a Monday morning, you're like, oh, I've got no motivation. I have this much energy for this fucking work week coming up here. Just fire up some Denzel motivational videos on YouTube, and you're gonna be like Popeye swallowing some spinach. Okay, you're like, yeah, I'm ready to fucking rock. Thanks, Denzel. Then it goes on to say, yes, the cage tunnel was intense. Super zombies and World War Z, extra fast and extra crazy. Yeah, I know, I love it. It's like just a refreshing new take on zombies, because really, if you face it, if you realize it, if you think about it enough, with the movies and the TV shows where the zombies are all slow and all they do is moan, they just walk really slow. They don't have no athletic skill, no strength to them that much, or not that much strength. Really, I mean, you could like get away in a zombie apocalypse by like just riding a bike. just pedaling your ass away from the zombies and getting the clear and whatnot, staying nice and quiet so you don't attract them and that kind of thing. But World War Z, the world of World War Z, the zombie apocalypse and World War Z, nope, you're not outrunning these zombies, okay? And they turn fast. That's another thing that makes it even scarier is, they turn like, what, 11, 12, 13 seconds, wouldn't you say, in this movie? So they can increase in numbers, in no time flat, and they're fast, they're super strong. It's fucking crazy. And I like they have the same characteristics, they have the same actions as ants, especially in that Jerusalem scene, where the two dumbass broads like start singing, and they sing too loud, and they got the microphones they're singing into, and of course that attracts the zombies, and they start climbing a wall like they're a bunch of ants do. Ants do that too. Ants climb on top of each other when they're climbing up trees or whatever, and that's what those zombies were doing. They're acting like ants, and so it's just a really cool, refreshing take on zombies. So badass, absolutely. Yep. And then the bodies are falling. Yep, exactly. I just thought that was cool. Just how these zombies are just so hyperactive, they have no control over their faculties or anything like that. They're just so voracious. They want to eat, they want to feed, they want to spread. I mean, because basically that's what they are. They're a virus. They are two-legged viruses. They're carriers of this virus, and their prime directive is spread this virus, spread it to a healthy host, spread it. And it's kind of scary to think about it. I mean, you got shit like that. I'm not saying you got shit like that floating around in real life and whatnot, but the scenario is doable. The scenario is believable with it. I mean, we got a little taste of it with the COVID pandemic, which obviously is nowhere near a zombie apocalypse, but it at least showed you that it doesn't take much to get human beings around the world to act like complete assholes. And that's for a fucking pandemic. That's for a virus with a less than 1% death rate. Can you imagine if what would happen? Well, I guess you don't have to imagine. You can just watch movies like World War Z and other zombie movies. For a virus that had over a 1% death rate. My God! And they were like freaking out. People were like pushing each other out of the lines in grocery stores and stocking up on toilet paper and attacking people for not wearing masks and about to fucking throw people in concentration camps for not getting the poison poke, not getting the jab over a virus that kills less than 1% of people that fucking get it. So can you imagine a zombie apocalypse? So that's what I'm saying. That's my point with the COVID apocalypse or the COVID pandemic. Yeah, it just showed you like what we're seeing in zombie movies, zombie apocalypse movies like World War Z. Totally believable. Okay, so I mean, particularly like the supermarket scene. The supermarket scene, the grocery store scene here in World War Z, it's kind of like just a more elevated, intense version of those videos you'd see on YouTube of, poor people not wearing a mask and the grocery store is getting chased down by other people going, put on your mask, you're trying to kill grandma, like getting attacked and all that shit, and so, I mean, it's just, you see that happen in real life. and that just World War Z is just a hyperkinetic, intensified representation of that. So yeah, not that I'm drinking to that. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, better stockpile guns and ammo and practice with them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. At least do some dry firing practices and stock up on food to sustain you, that kind of thing, because like they say, you go to your grocery store, you see those nice full shelves right now. Well, the typical grocery store only stores 3 days of groceries. So after 3 days, that grocery store is empty, and probably more likely way before that. Okay, so yeah, you better be prepping. Okay, so and hopefully you never have to use it. Hopefully you never have to use it. But I could think of worse problems to have than being all prepped and having food stores and extra ammunition and water and all that stuff and never having to use it. I could think of a lot worse problems than that. Again, like dealing with all over your ass, okay? You do not want that lady on your ass. But yeah, so I do like how this movie does from the very get-go, like build up the tension, that hey, something's happening. The characters in the movie don't know that the zombie apocalypse is coming on, but we do, right? And so it does a great job of building up the tension from the word go in this. You start seeing like Brad Pitt, he's in the kitchen, he's making breakfast, he sees like the news reports, coming up, and then probably doesn't think much of that. And then they show them in bumper to bumper traffic in downtown Philadelphia. And they start seeing clues like, man, there's helicopters all over the place. Like, what's all these helicopters? What's going on? And then, the motorcycle cop driving by and, ripping off their side view mirror. And then they see the explosion and they start seeing people dead ass sprinting, down the sidewalks, running away from something, obviously. And and then no music. And the no music is perfect, okay? Because it just really helps lend to the tension building. And then before you know it, then we're right in the shit. We're right in the mix of it there. You've got the motorcycle cop comes up and scolds Gerry, to stay in his car. Next thing you know, that garbage truck is like boom, just like barreling through and takes out the cop. And Gerry Lane, this is the first time you really get a peek at how quick the Gerry Lane character thinks on his feet when he realizes, holy shit, okay, hey, this garbage truck barreling through all these cars, that's our fullback. Okay, we're the tailback, and that's our fullback. We're gonna follow that garbage truck through all these fucking cars and get the hell out of here. I got my wife, I got my 2 daughters that I got to take care of. And so yeah, right then and there, you see, okay, Gerry Lane, he's a guy that can think on his feet, and he's seen some shit, okay, and his family is in better hands with him, than they are with pretty much anybody else. But and then it's on, right? The music, the music score swells up, and you get the cool aerial shots of Philadelphia, right there by the, I don't know if it's the Parliament building or it's by City Hall, whatever they call their City Hall in Philadelphia there. And there's like a town square in downtown Philadelphia, and they just show like people running for their lives and zombies, chasing them down and infecting them and eating them and all that shit. And you get the cool aerial shots, kind of like what you're seeing here with this picture here. They're flying over Philadelphia, and you see your explosions in the distance and shit like that, and all that stuff. It's so badass. So. Hey, all right, success. I talked them into it. They're going to rewatch World War Z. Yeah, definitely watch the unrated cut. Definitely, my friend, watch the unrated cut. You will not be disappointed. And maybe you've already seen it, but yeah, there you go. If I can only get one life, to rewatch World War Z, I have done my job. There you go. I feel like I've converted to Christian or something. Testify. But yeah, so then Brad Pitt, he gets a phone call that most of us would never ever get in a zombie apocalypse. And it's from a guy who works for the U.N. and his former boss or former colleague, and his former colleague's like, hey, we can come pick you up in a helicopter. Well, you and I, we're not going to have that offer. Okay, we don't have people in a zombie apocalypse calling us up going, yeah, where are you at? We're going to send a helicopter. We'll get you out on an aircraft carrier and whatnot. Like, no. And that's why you and I, we would probably die pretty quick in a zombie apocalypse there. Success! Absolutely. So, and so yeah, that's just a great start to the movie there. And but before I get too far into the movie, I just want to take a chance here real quick just to break it up a little bit and let you guys know all about TDPN here. And let me do this. Yeah, tdpn.locals.com. I know that wasn't such a smooth segue there, but hey, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? All right, so I got zombies on my mind. I'm distracted all the time. By how am I supposed to work smoothly and calmly if I know that she's going to be popping up at any particular time? All right. So, but anyway, yeah, tdpn.locals.com. That is our website here with the Till Death Podcast Network, where we have all our cool content like videos and blogs and articles about movies and entertainment, cocktail recipes, politics, hot button sizzling issues. Anything you could think of, maybe not anything you can think of. I mean, I don't think we're putting articles in there about sociology or anything like that. So, or nuclear particle acceleration. But yeah. Hey, Unfolding Joker. Hey, friends and lurkers. Let's get this chat popping. Smash a rumble, like Paul Pelosi said. Comment and share. I appreciate you doing the Lord's work, Unfolding Joker. Not that I'm the Lord, but yeah. Good to see you. Good to see you. TDPN.locals.com. Get there. And as you can see there at the very bottom, if you put in promo code TDPN, you get 1 month free membership to TDPN.locals.com website. Okay. And that'll actually give you the opportunity to take advantage of a newer feature that we have on the website called Movies America Mad Libs that I will go more in depth into later on. But yeah, it's your chance to get your creative juices flowing and write some movie script lines in there. Movies America Mad Libs, again, is what that's called. But yeah. And so, yeah, you get 1 month free membership if you put in promo code TDPN. And then after that 1 month, it's like a measly $3 minimum. $3 minimum. Come on. That's like, I was about to say that's like, a value meal there at McDonald's. But in this Joe Biden economy, I don't know, that might get you maybe half of an item on the dollar menu. Pardon me. Nowadays here. So in the FJB economy, the Let's Go Brandon economy. So yeah. Hey, Till Death Broadcast. All right. Hey, he made it. Absolutely. Good to see you. Sup. There you go. Absolutely. So glad you can make it there. But yeah, so get to tdpn.locals.com. All right. So I mean, you're only going to be entertaining yourself. All right. You won't be sorry you go there and check that out. Okay. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff to check out at tdpn.locals.com. All right. Let's get further into this. Let's get that back up there. Absolutely. What else to say about World War Z? So yeah, I mean, I do like how this movie had the budget enough to show like airplanes flying by, and then they had the naval fleet, and so this isn't some cheapy TV series, TV movie, or anything like that. Okay, it's got a budget big enough to show you just the global impact of this zombie apocalypse, and but before Gerry and his family get to the aircraft carrier and can fly away, well, then they have to they go to they get out of the city, and they got to go to the grocery store because one of their daughters needs some asthma medication, and they get to the grocery store, and it basically just looks like exactly how you would imagine a grocery store would look when the shit hits the fan. Okay, everybody in the fucking grocery store, just all out for themselves, every man for himself, every woman for herself, grabbing whatever you can. And it for some reason, this movie has something I can't believe happened, and I think is a little absurd. They probably could have kept this part of the movie out of there. But so in the middle of this whole shit show, this zombie apocalypse where people are in the grocery store to get supplies and that kind of thing to try to survive, and they know that there's zombies running around, eating people, infecting people. You get these big bubba rednecks, and their first priority is trying to rape Gerry Lane's wife. Really? You're gonna try to get yourself some horizontal refreshment right in the middle of a grocery store where everyone's running around and zombies are running around infecting people and whatnot. Like, nah, yeah. That was a slip of a banana peel right there with the writers in this movie. You could have just left that out of there because that's not believable at all. Okay, because I mean, even I don't care if Ronald McRapey is going to the grocery store. Even he is going to be too petrified and worried about getting supplies and surviving to be worried about raping anybody. So that moment was kind of made me just kind of okay. So yes, but then they get in a shootout and whatnot with Ronald McRapey, and Brad Pitt takes him down. They get the medication, they get the hell out of Dodge. They walk out of the grocery store and they realize, oh fuck, somebody took our RV, which I guess isn't surprising. Again, it's every man for himself and that kind of thing. And then they got to run to some apartments, nearby. And and this is where you start seeing like some claustrophobic scenes in this movie, where they have to try to make their way up some stairs in this high-rise apartment building, and that's got to be pretty scary. I mean, you think about it. I mean, it'd be one thing if you're just by yourself, but when you got a wife and you got two daughters and they don't move as fast as you, and you've got these zombies that you've clearly seen can fucking move. They book, okay? They can definitely move. And so you're trying to climb up these stairs in this high-rise apartment, trying to get to safety while you got these Carl Lewis Usain Bolt zombies running around. So, but they finally get up to an apartment. They finally get in. A nice family lets them in, and then Brad Pitt just basically tells his family, like, you cannot stay here. Okay, you stay, you die. Movement is life, and they basically get the hell out of Dodge the next morning, and that's another tense moment where they have to get up to the roof, to light the flares and get the hell out of Dodge with the helicopter that's coming for them. And hey, heads up to his wife for knowing to grab some flares, otherwise there's no way the helicopter is going to know what building to pick them up on. Okay, so she grabs some flares, heads up, decision on her part. And then Brad Pitt. I mean, obviously, again, another thinking on his feet moment where he basically it comes to mind to wrap his forearms up in magazines, right? And so smart move, a move that most people probably wouldn't think of in a zombie apocalypse there. But and then they eventually get up to the rooftop, and then they find themselves pretty soon they're getting chased down by that same family that was nice enough to take them in. Again, showing you how fast these zombies can turn good people into flesh-eating, pure evil monsters and that kind of thing. So it's just amazing. That's yep, that is foul show. But yeah, then they get picked up, and then you see like what's his face, Matthew Fox. Matthew Fox is one of the soldiers on the helicopter. And he originally was going to have a much bigger part in this movie. He was originally written as a bigger part. So there was going to be a whole backstory with Matthew Fox's soldier character, and he was going to be in the movie so much. Eventually, it got to a point where I guess while Brad Pitt's character was away, globe trotting, trying to find the origin of this virus, his wife had an affair with Matthew Fox's character in this, and I guess they wanted to shorten up the movie. They left that part out, or the script that had that part in it got rewritten or something like that. Because the script for this movie did get rewritten quite a bit. So again, a part of that overall chaos and turbulence that was part of this movie here. But so they get away to get out to an aircraft carrier because Gerry Lane is an United Nations, an ex-U.N. investigator, and he's got that privilege just because that's his job. His boss point blank tells him, like, if you weren't a UN investigator, if you weren't of any importance to us, yeah, you'd be out twisted, you're twisting in the wind. We'd leave you twisting out in the wind with your family to try to survive with everybody else. But since he is essential personnel, they bring him in to the aircraft carrier. And now there's one interesting scene or one interesting thing that his wife does that, basically when the part I'm referring to is when they all get settled in their bunks there on the aircraft carrier, and Gerry and his colleague are starting to just kind of have a back and forth discussion about what they're going to do about the pandemic and the next moves they're going to make. And his wife has the presence of mind saying, "Hey, honey, go talk somewhere else." Obviously, well, probably, for one reason, she wants her kids to go to sleep and doesn't want them talking around there. But probably the bigger reason is she doesn't want their conversation, which is probably going to involve some disturbing information. She doesn't want her kids hearing that shit, And she shows that, okay, she's got the parenting thing down at least a little bit better than Gerry, because she's cognizant enough to where, yeah, she doesn't want her kids hearing that. And Gerry it sounds like he's a guy that was married to his job for a lot of years and now he's home. But, when you're married to your job, you kind of lose those parenting street smarts, I would imagine, the common sense things that tell you, yeah, don't talk about like a zombie apocalypse around your kids if you're trying to keep them calm. And so she was like, yeah, fuck off and go have your have your conversation somewhere else. Okay, there. But yeah, this and then eventually, yeah, they cut to the part where the general, I believe, is his rank, just point blank tells Gerry, "Hey, yeah, we need you. We're going to send you over to South Korea because we've gotten word that South Korea is the origin of this virus." Now, according to like an earlier script of this movie, the virus origin was China, because it's a believable place of origin for a virus, because we've had so many damn viruses come from China. I'm not saying all viruses come from China. We've had Lyme disease came from Lyme, Massachusetts. I mean, we've had viruses come from Africa, but a lot of viruses do come from China. So it's not out of the realm of possibility for a virus, it's believable in your movie script to have a virus come out of China. Now, I've never heard of a virus coming out of South Korea, but I'm not a virologist, so might have had a virus going to South Korea, and I'm just not privy to it. But since that was still back in the day when Hollywood was trying to kiss China's ass for box office dollars, and so they probably changed it up for that. We don't want to piss off China, okay? And so they changed it up to South Korea, okay? So because apparently they don't care about pissing off South Korea. That's how that works. Just pretty fucked up here. Pardon me. Hard work. Got a drink for the working man here. But yeah, so yeah, the general just point blank says, yeah, well, if you don't go on this mission to South Korea, yeah, you are no longer essential, personnel, and we're not running a Holiday Inn Express here. Okay, so if you are not essential personnel, we got plenty of people waiting in line for those bunks that you and your family are enjoying right now. So. And so yeah, Brad Pitt's like, okay, what can I do? Right? You basically are telling me you're going to kick me and my family off if I don't go to South Korea to try to find this the origin of this virus and that kind of thing. So yeah, the general pretty much makes his decision pretty easy. Okay, and so then we're introduced to a virologist, a young virologist from Harvard, I believe, and Brad Pitt's basically got to babysit him, because Brad Pitt's been, in the shit in the world. He's a UN investigator. Or he was a UN investigator, so we had to go through. Pardon me. We had to go through pretty scary places in the world, like Chechnya, Sri Lanka, war zones, battle zones, and that kind of thing. Scary places, the south part of Chicago, Detroit, that kind of very, very scary places. Rosie O'Donnell's pantry, very, very scary places. And so they're like, you're the perfect guy to send with this high value guy, this virologist from Harvard, that we're hoping can basically, we can find the origin of this virus, and he can help craft a cure for this thing that's just ripping up the world. Okay, ripping up the world here. And so yeah, they're flying to South Korea, and Brad Pitt's giving them the lowdown, like, hey, when we get there, these soldiers that they've provided for us, like, just, if you get tense, if you get nervous, just follow their voice, follow their boots and whatnot, and they get to South Korea. And this is when we get to meet like a cool troop of soldiers there, cool squad of soldiers or army soldiers there at this base in South Korea, led by James Badge Dale, that a lot of people probably best know for the movie 13 Hours, when he played, like, I guess like a squad leader there for some CIA operators, their military operators, and so he played like the lead squad commander, I guess, for lack of a better way of putting it, in 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. And so James Badge Dale, he was in that movie, and then obviously in World War Z as well. And he's just like this wisecracking, charismatic squad leader who we learned they like to call the zombies, like to call him Zeke in this there. So, yeah, so it's just we get to meet that squad, and they basically show us. There she is again. So yeah, they basically, that's when Brad Pitt gets some background, where he learns a story about how, like, the base doctor went out to check on this soldier out in the wilderness, and turns out this soldier was sick with this virus, and then this soldier bit the doctor. The doctor brings him back to the base, and then I guess that's how they portray, like, how this zombie virus started, is this soldier got bit by something. I don't know, how do we know what, how the soldier got it, right? And now, if we would have gotten a World War Z movie sequel of World War Z 2, maybe we would have found that out, but we don't. And so yeah, basically, yeah, Gerry Lane is getting some more background, origination information about the virus, and then that's when he starts kind of piecing it together with, about how the zombies, they won't attack you if they don't, if they know that you're not a healthy host, if they know you're terminal, if you have a terminal disease and you're not a healthy host, they don't do anything with you. And he gets his first clue to that when James Badge Dale is talking about how this one soldier was right in the middle of this big zombie attack in this room, this closed up room, and people were dying, get eaten by these zombies, and people were turning. It was like just one zombie shitstorm. But this one soldier, they chose to leave this one soldier alone, and he survived the whole fucking thing. And then that's when Brad Pitt notices, oh, this guy's got a little hitch in his giddy up, right? He's got a little limp, and ask him, hey, so is that, you in here fighting? Is that how you got that limp or that hitch in your giddy up? And the guy's like, nah, it's been bothering me for a while now. And the guy that said that, actually, he is Michael Huisman, or Heisman. I forget how you say his last name. You probably recognize him from Game of Thrones, because he played a prominent character in Game of Thrones who was getting with Daenerys Targaryen. I can't remember what his character's name was in Game of Thrones, but yeah, Michael Heisman, and was in Game of Thrones and World War Z, and so you see him in there. So it's kind of a cool connection between this movie and Game of Thrones, absolutely. So, so you see that, and they learn some backstory about the virus and that kind of thing. So fast forward to, they have to get the fuck out of South Korea, and they have a cool sequence where they're trying to sneak to the plane to refuel it and that kind of thing. And before you know it, they're right out the plane, and all of a sudden his wife chooses the perfect time to try to call him, and his, and Gerry Lane's cell phone goes off, and that alerts the zombies, because they're trying to be quiet, to not alert the zombies. Well, so much for that shit, because his wife calls up, and everything really goes.
She's gone from suck to blow.
Yeah, his wife did. Yeah, absolutely. Like, come on, lady. Now, again, how was she supposed to know there about that? But yeah, so the cell phone goes off, the zombies attack and that kind of thing, and they barely get the get the hell out of there. And by they, I mean, like, Gerry Lane, and then just the pilot, get the hell out of Dodge there. And so, yeah, it's so big. They get out of South Korea, they start flying around and that kind of thing. And they learn that, they definitely need to get to Jerusalem and to kind of put together the breadcrumbs, to follow the breadcrumbs to a potential cure for this disease and that kind of thing. So that's the whole, that's kind of one of the main themes of this movie. Is like, it's just a global pandemic, and it's and that's one of the things that Brad Pitt wanted to explore in this movie, but never got a chance to, is like just the geopolitics of a zombie apocalypse that's taken over the whole world. Okay, it's not like the zombie apocalypse like in 28 days later or 28 weeks later, where pretty much it seems like it's just infecting everybody in England, and it's contained into England only. Yeah, that's so it's basically it's worldwide. It's South Korea, obviously, Jerusalem, obviously Philadelphia, Washington D.C. I mean, it's everywhere. Okay, as you hear people talk about in this movie. Okay, it's just nuts, and yeah, just a lot of people just going,
no, God, please, no.
Yep, it's everywhere. It's everywhere, man. But yeah, so I mean, as you can tell, I'm kind of going through the synopsis. I'm going through the synopsis, but kind of jumping around just because I want to give everyone a chance as I'm yapping here to weigh in through live chat. And if you got any comments about this movie or questions about this movie or any movie, we're not going to relegate it or restrict it just to World War Z. That's the whole point of this Movies America spoiler warning show, is that if you're one of those people that have seen a movie and you want to have a deep dive into the movie, but you don't know anybody nerdy enough that would tolerate you having a deep dive conversation about a movie, well, you can. That's what this show is all about. Okay, so nerd out with this guy, and in this case about World War Z. Like, get some deep dive, get some in-depth conversation about it. So if you want to let me know about a scene that you liked or a scene that you hated, or something you're like, why the fuck was that in this movie, or your favorite character or whatever, okay, or I thought the movie should have more boobies, just sage, very, very profound, dialogue about a movie like that. That's what I'm talking about there. So, now I just want to kind of go into, because I'm going to leave the synopsis about this movie where it's at. Okay, so if you want to know the rest of the synopsis, you haven't seen the movie. Well, first of all, I don't know why you're watching the show if you haven't seen the movie, but unless but you know what? Hey, if you don't care about it being spoiled for you, hey, welcome, stay, come on in, watch the whole show if you like. I'm just saying, you're getting it spoiled for you, okay? But yeah, I just wanted to talk about like some cool things that were in the book that aren't in the movie, okay? And so I mean, one of the things is so in the book, they have a scene where you have zombies and they're falling off of boats, and then they end up basically floating or dropping to the bottom of the ocean. And you have zombies like just walking on the ocean floor, and they can, right? Because they're dead already. You don't have to worry about them drowning, right? So they walk on the ocean floor, and then when they spot boats up above them, they start floating up to the top, and they start grabbing people off the boats and shit. And that would have been cool to kind of incorporate that, work some kind of scene into the movie that shows that. Now, the only thing I could think of as far as why, well, one of the things I could think of as far as why they wouldn't have had this in there is it does sound a little too similar to the dead pirates in the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, walking on the ocean floor. They had that scene in there. So they probably were like, yeah, people might think we're kind of stealing from the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie there, but I wouldn't have minded, but some people wouldn't have liked that there. Also, in the book, they have the Lobo, or short for lobotomizer. And the Lobo is a weapon that they have in the book there. And here, let me show you what that is, what that looks like here. So let's do this. Okay. Well, let's get that off there first. All right, getting our stuff handled, getting it done. Yeah, because I want you to know what this Lobo looks like. Okay, I don't want you to like, well, I don't have to take my word for it. Okay, so let's check this out. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, so let's share that up. And all right. Okay, so let's get on in here. Oops, not that. Not that. There we go. Let's get that going on. Full size. Full size. All right, so this is the Lobo right there, as you see right there. So you kind of see it in action. We don't need the music. There we go. So it kind of just demonstrates like the impact and how that would be useful against, some Walking Dead coming up on your ass, some Zeke, some zombies, some ghouls. And so in the book, I believe like they just they make these in mass and they hand them out to soldiers and stuff. And obviously civilians have them as well. And so it's just like a rudimentary but very effective tool against the zombies and whatnot. So I'll stop sharing it. But yeah, so the book has that, but the movie does not. And so that's one thing that I thought they could have worked into the movie. But yeah, just I don't know. I don't know why they didn't work that in there. But and again, now I don't mind that the movie hardly resembles the book either, or, at all. Because I mean, I just want the movie to be entertaining. That's all I wanted it to be. And so but a lot of people, they were like, I don't like it not resembling the movie at all. And but one other person that feels the same way I do is Max Brooks, the author of World War Z himself. So let me show you that here real quick, because I don't want you to have to believe me. No, it's not that. Let's get that out of there. Yeah, we got to click on the right thing here. So, all right. So let's do this. Okay. Get that off of there. I know it's fascinating watching me over here. It's got to be fascinating. Oh, okay. So here's Max Brooks. He wrote the book World War Z that the movie doesn't resemble at all. But yeah, here's just briefly his thoughts about the movie here.
And the movie and the book really don't have a lot in common. They got a great title. And people are asking me, I know the question on your mind is, a lot of you, except for people who don't know me, what do you think of the movie? Here's the deal. I expected to hate it. I wanted to hate it. God, did I want to hate it. I wanted it to suck. Because then I could be all snarky. And I could come here as the purist and meet with my fellow purists. We could all be like, yeah, didn't it suck? Yeah, take that, Johnny Suede. Yeah. And your big Hollywood machine. And yeah, I can say snarky things like, well, maybe they should have followed the book. And we all feel good about ourselves. That was the plan. And then I went to see it. And it didn't suck. And I didn't hate it. And I specifically thought I would hate it because it was so different from the book. But what shocked me was it was exactly because it was so different from the book that I didn't hate it. Because it was just somebody else's movie. It had nothing to do with me. So I was completely emotionally divorced from what I was saying on the screen. Now I understand. That was like my big teaching moment. I get it now. I like Stephen King tore his hair out when he saw The Shining. Because there's the Overlook Hotel, which he created, and there's the characters that he created. But they're not doing the things that they do in the book. So I'm sure he was like, it's like when you're a kid and somebody takes your toys and plays with them, and you're like, no, Luke Skywalker and Han Solo would never do that to each other. So I get that now as a writer, why it would be so upsetting. But I didn't have that moment. I didn't have a moment of hey, Gerry Lane would never say that moment. Because I didn't invent Gerry Lane. J. Michael Straczynski invented Gerry Lane. Maybe he had that moment, if he saw it, because he wrote the first draft and it got rewritten, so maybe you sat in the audience.
So you get the point right there. So yeah, he didn't mind the movie not being just like his book or anything like that. So he just appreciated it objectively as, hey, it's just a movie that shares the title of his book, but it's just a entertaining movie. And as long as you appreciate it just for that, that's what it's all about. There, so let me get that out of there. Don't want you have to see how the sausage is made. Okay. All right, so let's do this here. Let's get a little brew review time going on because I'm getting a little thirsty, And hey, again, if you guys are drinking it, hey, let me know. Let me know what you guys are tipping back there. What's beer or maybe some bourbon or some tequila or whatever? Okay, because it's Thursday nights. Okay, the weekend is almost upon us, everybody. Okay, and so enough of me yapping. Let's get into brew review time. All right, everybody, for this brew review time on this World War Z episode of Movies America, spoiler warning, we're rolling with a little Sapporo Reserve. Here, let me make sure you guys can see that. Sapporo Reserve, okay? And as a lot of you probably know, Sapporo is out of Japan, Tokyo, to be more specific, okay? And this one is just a nice, good, light, crisp beer. Obviously, like most beers, it's better when it's cold, right? Ice cold, okay? And it's not like 5.2%, anywhere from 5 to 5.2 alcohol by volume there. So it's not going to punch you in the face, right? Okay. But it'll keep you nice and cool and hydrated, on a hot day sitting by the pool or jumping off the riding mower after mowing the lawn or something like that. So get yourself a little Sapporo, okay? And I'm not getting any money from Sapporo or anything like that, so I'm not getting money from any brewery yet. Call me. And so this is a totally objective review of Sapporo Reserve in this case. And it's got this pleasantly subtle bitterness to it. It's not too overpowering, and it's got a little kind of a very slight citrus taste to it. And it's it's a non-threatening beer, and it goes down smooth. So here, let me demonstrate it for you. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep, that hits the spot every time. So some Sapporo Reserve, and it's not like a very obscure beer brand at all. I mean, it's like Asahi. Asahi's another popular Japanese beer brand. You can typically find Sapporo or Asahi, at a lot of places, okay, unless you live in some one stoplight town or something like that. And in that case, you probably got to go to drizzly.com. That's DRIZLY, drizzly.com, or gopuff.com. Again, not getting any money from those websites either to get something like Sapporo. But you should be able to find it elsewhere and whatnot. But that has been brew review time. All right, everybody, let's check out the live chat. Hey, we got a Dear Sarge in the live chat. Hey, appreciate you joining me here. All right, let's check out what Dear Sarge has to say. All right. Hey, Dear Sarge says, just mentioned it was Thursday, or just remembered it was Thursday already. About to roll to work, but tune in and listening. Very little chat for next 26 minutes at least. My coffee's done brewing. Does that count? It does, man. It does. A little Java, or a lot of Java. Definitely does count, man. I appreciate you tuning in and listening. Absolutely. It does not go unappreciated. And hopefully I am earning your attention with this World War Z spoiler warning episode. And and again, Dear Sarge kind of reminded me that, if you can't listen to or watch this actively, hey, just fire it up in the background. You got a laptop laying around, or your phone, or some computer or something like that. Just turn this on, have the volume off, and just do whatever else. If you're in the middle of you're making ravioli and you don't have time to listen to or watch this, or it's Thursday night, college football might be on. You might be going, I'm not watching Movies America spoiler warning and missing my college football game. Hey, have us on. in the background, no sound on, that kind of thing. So that works too. Okay. And then watch it actively later on. Watch the recording actively later on. So, all right. I'm sure that's fascinating for everybody to hear me plug my show that intensely. But yeah, dear Sarge, yeah, again, yeah, appreciate you joining there. So, and people can join from Rumble or YouTube. And again, real quick while I'm thinking of it, yeah, you can follow this channel. Okay, follow this channel and then like this video. Okay, absolutely. All right, so let's move on with cool things that are in the book but aren't in the movie World War Z. And a big one that is in the book but is not in the movie is the Battle of Yonkers, or Yonkers, New York, to be specific. And so it's the big Battle of Yonkers zombie battle. And so how basically just the broad strokes of how that worked and how cool this would have been to see this in a movie, but they probably didn't have it in their budget constraints or length of time or whatever. So, yeah, the Battle of Yonkers started out with the military creating a choke point on a road. And they created this choke point on this road with like abandoned cars. And they created that choke point for zombies to walk through into this town of Yonkers, okay? And then once the zombies were in this choke point, let me get my arm free here. Once the zombies were like kind of going down this choke point there, then the military like just lit them up with multiple missile attacks, which decimated zombie bodies and was flinging zombie body parts left and right through the air, including whole zombie heads with the eyes on the zombie heads still moving around. And so these whole zombie heads were getting shot into the air like champagne corks from this ordnance, these bombs being dropped on them. And then other zombies that this didn't happen to, that weren't blown apart, they just burst into flames. And then even, some, even though they were, in flames, they could still walk or at least crawl. So they were still moving. Okay. And so then because the military wasn't getting headshots, the zombies just kept coming in the thousands in spite of all the bombing runs that they were doing in this choke point. And then the next wave after the bombing and the choke point, the next military wave were the tanks that had heavy artillery, but the tank teams weren't given enough artillery and ended up getting overrun. And then the last line of defense that was behind the tanks, that last line of defense, the zombies kept coming for them too. And again, we're talking about millions, thousands and millions of zombies going on. And so when you're just infantry, when you're just, military infantry, and you've got thousands, if not millions of zombies coming at your ass, it's damn hard to take them down, because it's damn hard to make a headshot every single time you see a zombie, because when most people in the military, if not all, you're trained to aim for center mass. So right here, you're trained to aim for center mass your entire career, not a headshot. Okay. So now suddenly you're in a world of shit where you have to make a headshot on thousands, if not millions of zombies. Okay. So this is what these infantrymen, these soldiers on the last line of defense in this Battle of Yonkers has to deal with. Okay. And then the soldiers, they have this technology called Land Warrior. Okay. And the Land Warrior technology, with it, each soldier, they have they basically, the audio and video of every soldier is broadcast to every soldier. Okay. So they have every soldier has eyepieces and whatnot that they look through. And so you can see other soldiers and the screaming and all that stuff. And thanks to this Land Warrior technology, the blessing of this Land Warrior technology. And so instead of this Land Warrior technology being an asset, it put the screams and the carnage of soldiers being attacked and eaten in the ears and eyes of every soldier, thus increasing the panic. So Land Warrior made things even worse in it, that it would also show aerial footage taken from spy birds flying up above. And that aerial footage showed millions and millions of zombies heading the way of this last line of defense. So obviously that was getting the soldiers to basically shit their pants. I mean, they're trying to control their sphincters, right? And and that was all because of this aerial footage. Some brainiac decided, hey, it's a good idea to put this aerial footage from these spy birds out there to make our soldiers even further shit themselves, okay? And it's kind of hard to get headshots, anyways, but it's really hard to get headshots when you're panicking. And now, the reason that there were so many zombies, we're talking millions here again, right, is because these zombies are from the New York City infestation. And because, again, this is in Yonkers, New York, which is like a little bit north of New York City, I believe. And also, the Battle of Yonkers was set up as a big military PR operation to show civilians that the military was still in control. So the military made sure to have plenty of news choppers flying around and media all over the place. So when the shit hit the fan, you had news choppers crashing into each other. You had news people being thrown out of their news vans by other panic people, and then they ended up getting eaten. It wasn't just the military that was getting its ass kicked that day in the Battle of Yonkers. And so that's, a really big one, big event that was in the book that they just did not have in the movie. And now one battle that they're going to have in the movie that probably would have resembled the Battle of Yonkers is they're going to have a battle in Red Square in Moscow in Russia. But I think it was like a budgetary thing. I mean, obviously a scene like that just would have just made the budget skyrocket. And they had budget problems where, like, they would spend money on things, and then the receipts for those things they spent money on for the movie would just get tucked away in some drawer, okay? And then they would be discovered later on. And the bean counters, would look at it like, holy shit, you spent this much money? Well, now the budget for this movie is, now we're over budget. Now we can't film that big battle scene in Moscow now. And so that was probably a big reason why they didn't film that fucking scene. And that would have been so badass if we could have seen a big battle scene like that. And so that's why really the biggest action piece in this movie is in the middle of the movie with the Jerusalem attack there. So that's why if this movie seems a little weird to you, where the biggest action set piece is in the middle of the movie and not at the end, that would definitely be why. But I just thought those were kind of some cool things to mention in the movie here. But from that, let me segue over to letting you guys know all about Nature Clear. Yes, I know that wasn't the smoothest segue at all, but hey, you know what? I want to tell you about Nature Clear nonetheless. And what is Nature Clear? Well, Nature Clear is this powder that you can take if you want to go out and you want to party. You want to sit on the beer patio and hang out with your friends, or go out there, hit the the dance club and shake your booty and get your little drinky on and not have to worry about a hangover, the next morning. You don't have to worry about that. Well, you can take, you can be proactive, okay? And you can take your Nature Clear recovery powder. And as you can see here, this comes in these handy packets. And all you have to do is just pour this in like 12 ounces of water, like your typical bottle of water, and just, just drink that before you go out for the evening or whenever you're going out. And then if you want to throw, like some lemon lime Mio in there to make it even tastier. I know that's what Sean does here, part of the Till Death Podcast Network. He does that to make the Nature Clear even tastier before he goes out and he chugs some Nature Clear, because he's a big alcoholic. And I'm kidding. He has to take Nature Clear all the time. He's a big alky. But I guess that's an expert move to take some lemon lime Mio and throw that in with your bottle of water. And then, but have no fear if you're out there and out and about, you're, partying up and you're like, oh my God, I forgot to take my Nature Clear. You know what? Take it easy on yourself. Don't beat yourself up, because all you got to do is take it when you get home and you're good to go, everybody. You're good to go. And it also helps you recover from smoking and vaping too. So this is like a, Swiss Army knife of recovery. It's some badass shit, this stuff right here. Okay. So, and get yourself some Nature Clear. And so right now, if you're smart, you're asking, how do I get myself some Nature Clear? If you don't have any Nature Clear already, Well, you just got to click on the Nature Clear link down in the description, okay? And then at the Nature Clear website, you just grab whatever you want and put it in the carts. And then in the carts there, make sure you put in promo code MOVIES when you're ordering your stuff in the cart for Nature Clear, and you're going to get up to 25% off your next order, okay? Pretty fucking great, huh? Yeah, not too shabby, okay? So, yeah, get yourself some Nature Clear. The hangover that you prevent could be your own, okay? So, absolutely. All right. Moving on in this World War Z Movies America spoiler warning episode. And you know what? Let's go into my personal favorite part of each Movies America spoiler warning show, and that is the movie military moments. Now, you may be asking yourself, if you've never seen an episode of Movies America spoiler warning, what the hell is the movie military moment? Well, what it is so you've got Congressional Medal of Honor recipients, right? And as you would imagine, in order to be awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor, you have to do some pretty intense shit in war, in battle, right? Okay. And you either, might go as far as giving your life too. You might get it awarded to you posthumously. And so, I mean, we're talking about them doing things like, falling on a grenade to save their comrades, or being in a helicopter and flying missions and mowing down the enemy, right? As part of saving other soldiers' lives, or mowing down a pillbox in Iwo Jima or something like that to save other, yet other soldiers' lives, that kind of thing. So you're going above and beyond enough to where you are awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. And so that those actions you take, those heroic actions you take, if you saw it in a movie, it would be like, holy shit, what am I watching? My God, my eyes are like popping out of my head at this scene that I'm watching, this movie military moment, okay? And so, yeah, I'd just like to give credit to the men and women that but are awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor, okay? And they deserve our respect, our time to commemorate them, okay? And definitely want to give them some time, okay? And so our our well-renowned recipient that I want to honor for tonight is Private First Class William Robert Caddy, okay, who served in World War II, okay? And you know what? Private First Class Caddy deserves his own music here, some movie military moment music, okay? So let's get into it. We can give a minute for that movie music to breathe. All right, this is the movie military moment, and our person of honor for this episode, this edition of movie military moment, is one Private First Class William Robert Caddy, who served in World War II in Iwo Jima. Let's read on all about Private First Class William Robert Caddy. For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty, while serving as a rifleman with Company I, 3rd Battalion, 26th Marines, 5th Marine Division, in action against enemy Japanese forces during the seizure of Iwo Jima in the Volcano Islands, 3rd March 1945. Consistently aggressive Private First Class Caddy boldly defied shattering Japanese machine gun and small arms fire to move forward with his platoon leader and another Marine during the determined advance of his company to an isolated sector, and gaining the comparative safety of a shell hole, took temporary cover with his comrades. Immediately pinned down by deadly sniper fire from a well-concealed position, he made several unsuccessful attempts to again move forward, and then, joined by his platoon leader, engaged the enemy in a fierce exchange of hand grenades until a Japanese grenade fell beyond reach in the shell hole. Fearlessly disregarding all personal danger, PFC Caddy instantly dived on the deadly missile, absorbing the exploding charge in his own body and protecting the others from serious injury. Stout-hearted and indomitable, he unhesitatingly yielded his own life that his fellow Marines might carry on the relentless battle against a fanatic enemy. His dauntless courage and valiant spirit of self-sacrifice in the face of certain death reflect the highest credit upon PFC Caddy and upon the U.S. Naval Service. He gallantly gave his life for his comrades. We salute you, Private First Class William Robert Caddy. Private First Class William Robert Caddy. We honor you. And that has been our movie Military Moments. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Just wanted to give Private First Class William Robert Caddy his due time there. So, but yeah, if you know anybody that served or anybody that would appreciate something like this that you know of, yeah, let them know about this show. And hey, maybe someone watching this later on down the road, if you're watching the recording of this, knows the family of Private First Class William Robert Caddy. Hey, let them know about this. That would be fantastic. Or if you watch any of my episodes of Movies America Spoiler Warning later on, and which most of them have a movie military moment, and any of the recipients that I talk about, yeah, let them know, man. I'd love to have them or their family know all about that, okay, because they deserve our honor. All right, so okay, let's move on here. What do we got? So yeah, what? Let's get into. I want to let you guys know, okay, point blank, about my top 5 zombie movies. Okay, so because we're doing this show about a zombie movie, okay, and I'm sure when you were planning on watching this show, you're like, oh, please, I hope that Van's going to tell us what his top 5 zombie movies. Well, your prayers are about to be answered, okay? But not before I get another drink, okay, of this Sapporo. All right. Okay. Getting a little parched here, so get too excited when I'm talking all about zombie movies here. All right. Let's get this going on, all right? And, all right, before we get too far into the top 5 zombie movies, again, hey, live chat with me, everybody. Rumble, YouTube, let me know. So, hey, as I'm going through these, my top 5 zombie movies, in my opinion, yeah, if you, see what I'm putting up there and you're like, what the hell are you talking about? That movie shouldn't be on your list, Van. Like, hey, let me know. There you go. Let me have it, okay? Don't pull any punches, okay? Don't take it easy on my part. Okay, so let's do this. Top 5 zombie movies. I wish I had like a drum roll or something like that here. Okay, so let's get to, so we're going to go number 5 down to number 1. Okay, so 5, 2, 1. There you go. Hey, I can count, barely. Up to 5, that's it. All right, so movie number 5. Shaun of the Dead. Yeah, Shaun of the Dead, a zombie classic foul show. Came out in 2004, okay? And, yeah, we got our heroes of Shaun of the Dead right here. Simon Pegg plays the guy on the left there. And yeah, this is more a comedic take on zombie movies, and it's hilarious. I mean, from the very get-go, from the very beginning, where Simon Pegg's character and his buddy here is there, or was it Nick Frost? That's his name. So Simon Pegg and the other guy's name, I always forget his name, but miraculously I remember it. So yeah, Nick Frost plays the guy on the right, and with the "I Got Wood" T-shirt. So yeah, so these two characters, they're like just stoners. They just lay around and play video games all day, except for Simon Pegg there. Obviously, he's got a job, as you can tell how he's dressed right there. And yeah, they kind of live kind of just sluggish lives. And at the beginning of the movie, they show Simon Pegg. He's like going out, in the morning after he wakes up, going out to get some food from a convenience store. He's like just walking around. Because he's so tired and whatnot. And so then he's walking to the store, and also you see zombies walking around. But in this movie, they're the slow moving zombies. Okay, just walk around. and so he's not getting attacked by him or whatnot. So, but it's kind of a funny comparison between what most people like me look like when you wake up in the morning and you're just like, where's the coffee? And but before long, in Shaun of the Dead, it's revealed to them like, holy shit, we're in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, and he's got to go get his girlfriend and his friends, and they just spend the whole movie just trying to survive. Okay, just like some of the other zombie movies that we're going to see here in the list, and then this was oh god, who's it? Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright directed this. Okay. And and this is like, I think the first collaboration between Edgar Wright, the director, and then Nick Frost and Simon Pegg in this. And then later on, he would go to direct them in movies like Hot Fuzz and At the World's End. Is that The World's End? Something like that. And it's kind of a trilogy starring Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. So yeah, so it's Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and then The World's End there. And all good movies. You definitely should check those out. And but yeah, so they hole up in a bar. And so that's where I was going with that point, is that there's always a bar involved in Edgar Wright movies there, which nothing wrong with that. That's fantastic. Okay. And so yeah, they're just trying to fight off zombies in this bar. And this is all kinds of like hilarious happenings in this movie. And so yeah, so if you don't like straight up like serious zombie movies, but you're not looking to buy, you're looking to rent a zombie movie, okay? You're not ready to make that full commitment to a all-out scary, horrific zombie movie, and you want to have a couple of chuckles while you're watching the zombie movie. Yeah, you could do worse than Shaun of the Dead, and it's just got a great ending. Just a hilarious gut-busting ending to this movie there that kind of brings things full circle. But yeah, just fantastic. Okay. All right. Moving on to movie number 4. What could it be, everybody? What could it be? Oh, it's Train to Busan. Let me, if I could stammer it out here, right? Train to Busan. And yeah, this is a South Korean zombie movie, and it is. Now, this one doesn't have as much gore and blood as some other zombie movies, but it's got a lot more tension and emotional heft to it than a lot of zombie movies. It does a fantastic job at taking like 5 or 6 characters in this movie and really developing their characters enough to where you actually you don't want them to die, okay? I mean, there's a lot of zombie apocalypse movies, a lot of zombie movies where yeah, it's got characters in it. You just don't care if they live or die, and especially you see some characters where, yeah, they're evil, corrupt people, and you want them to get eaten. You want them to get turned into a human Happy Meal, okay? But there's like 5, I can't remember the exact number, but it's like 5 or 6 characters in Train to Busan that you definitely don't want them to die, and the writers of this movie, kudos to them, okay. But as the title even implies, it basically the main location of the zombie action in this is the Train to Busan. Okay, and the main protagonist is a dad, and he's got partial custody of his daughter, and he's kind of an absentee father. I mean, he's not the best dad in the world, but his daughter says, "Hey, hey, Dad, I want to go see Mom up in Busan." So they hop a train to Busan. And when they first get on the train, you start seeing kind of clues that there's a zombie apocalypse going on, but they're clueless. They have no idea. And so when they're getting on it, so like one example that's not a spoiler to this movie is they're on the train, and then the little girl's like looking out the window of the train while it's still at the station and hasn't moved yet. And you see like just some bystanders, somebody waiting outside the train also just get attacked by some leaping zombie. And it's one of those things where the little girl doesn't really see it, just kind of something out of the corner of her eye, like, just I'm waiting around. Okay. They don't really see it. It's just kind of out here in the corner of their eye. But we see it, full bore. And we know, like, holy shit, okay, something something's about to go down. And then if inevitably on the train, you have your first zombie on the train, it bites somebody, and then they bite somebody else, and so on and so forth. And Train to Busan, it kind of works, kind of works like World War Z, or it definitely works like World War Z, where when you get bit, you turn pretty fast, okay? And so before long on this cramped train, on this claustrophobic train, these cramped quarters, yeah, you've got people being attacked and turning into zombies left and right really fast, and it's just very unnerving. And so then before long, you go into like a quieter, unaffected part of the train, and you start kind of hearing noises, and you're like, oh, what's going on? Like something's wrong, or there's something's rotten in Denmark. What's going on? And then people that haven't been affected yet, all of a sudden they start seeing like zombies, heading towards them. And again, like I said, there's a lot of people on this train, and so they're getting infected and turned really quickly. And pretty soon you just see walls of zombies like kind of tunneling down the train, because obviously you picture how the inside of a train looks, and it's like this wall of this, bloodthirsty, flesh-hungry zombies coming at you. And so you have really cool visuals. And this movie isn't like some of zombie movies, they have intense zombie action and carnage and blood and all that stuff, but then they have like a kind of a calm period, where you kind of can catch your breath and that kind of thing. Not Train to Busan. This movie is just not like, once the shitstorm hits, it does not slow down. It is just nonstop, balls to the wall, nut to butt, zombie action the whole time with, little to no rest whatsoever. And so, yeah, Train to Busan, just check it out. It's a very, very intense zombie movie, very character-driven, where you really don't want, the main characters to die. It's very emotional. Surprisingly emotional for a zombie movie. So, yeah, Train to Busan. I think right now, as of when I'm recording this, it's streaming on Amazon Prime. But obviously, you can check it out and get a hard copy. I mean, this movie is good enough to buy. So you could definitely do worse than to buy this on a hard copy, okay? All right, so Train to Busan was zombie movie, my fourth favorite zombie movie. What could my third favorite be? Let's check it out. Hey, Zombieland. So now we're back to the zombie funnies, okay? And Zombieland, obviously, as we see here, Woody Harrelson stars in it, and Bill Murray has a brief role in this movie as well. And we have Jesse Eisenberg as one of the other main protagonists. There is this like neurotic guy that he's the first guy that we see in this movie. He's like our narrator, right? At least at the beginning of the movie. And he's like just some neurotic nerd that miraculously has survived the zombie apocalypse. And it's because his rules he has, right? Rules for surviving the zombie apocalypse. And one of I think the first rule you hear is cardio, right? And it's just hilarious sometimes about that. Well, when the zombie apocalypse happened, for obvious reasons, the first ones to go were the fatties. They just show like this fat guy getting chased down on a football field by this zombie. And so that's why he has one of his top rules is cardio. Okay, stay in shape, everybody. Stay in shape. Okay, so put those hot wings down, put those pancakes down, because you never know when a zombie apocalypse is around the corner. You don't want to be that fatty that gets eaten first. Okay, so don't be let Lizzo be the first victim. Okay, let Rosie O'Donnell be a victim before you. You stay in shape. Okay, so stay chiseled. All right, so the life you could save could be your own. All right, and then so then he's got other rules like double tap. Don't be stingy with your bullets. Stay out of bathrooms. Enjoy the little things. That kind of thing. So it's hilarious how they visualize them. And then, throughout the movie, one of the running jokes is they have the zombie kill of the week. They show like these really grotesque but gnarly, awesome ways to kill zombies. And so then, and then also they don't want to get too close to people in the zombie apocalypse. And so they don't tell each other what their real names are. So the characters have names like Tulsa and Wichita and Tallahassee, and I forget what Jesse Eisenberg, the neurotic nerd's name is. I think it's like Columbus or Cleveland, or it might be Columbus because I think it's like from Columbus, Ohio, or something like that. So yeah, but yeah, just fantastic. It's a funny movie, and it's it's a good gory, funny zombie movie with some ingenious zombie killing scenes. Kind of like they're like right towards the end, they have Woody Harrelson. He's on like an amusement park ride. He's going around. He's on a roller coaster, and he's like killing zombies on a roller coaster, and then he's on a ride spinning around. He's like killing zombies and shit that way. It's just so badass there. So absolutely. But yeah, it's just really cool. And so that's it's a just hilarious movie how they interact with the other characters there. And so you got Emma Stone's in this as well. Abigail Breslin is. Emma Stone was in this before she got as popular as she is now. Okay, so before she was in what was that? Easy A. This is actually after she was in Superbad and whatnot. But she had like other movies that she was in that kind of catapulted her to stardom and that kind of thing. So, but yeah, she's hilarious. In this movie right there. Now Bill Murray comes in where in the picture because they get to, I believe they get to Hollywood, and Woody Harrelson is a big Bill Murray fan, and so they're like looking for a place to hole up in Hollywood. And so Woody Harrelson's like, "Hey, let's go find Bill Murray's mansion." Okay. And so I love that, just how they work Bill Murray into this movie. But yeah, Zombieland, and also the opening credits to this movie is just so badass too, because they play Metallica's "For Whom the Bell Tolls" during it. And then also, hey, if you want to see Amber Heard in an early role, before she was shitting in Johnny Depp's bed, she was in this Zombieland movie briefly. If you want to check out early Amber Heard before we heard how big of a turd Heard is. Amber Heard's in Zombieland. Okay, all right, a little dose of beer here. All right, there we go. Now swig it around. All right, so my second favorite zombie movie of all time so far is 28 Weeks Later. Yeah, isn't that a creepy picture? Creepy. It's so creepy. I'll tell you, it's you never know. I thought it was an appropriate time to unleash the scary big Rosie O'Donnell. Hey, Till Death Podcast. Yeah, hey, what's up to you? All right. And but sorry, I was dealing with some stuff, but yeah, hey, that's all good. Hey, that's all good. It's all good. Hey, we got Darth Jason. All right, hey, Darth Jason, welcome to Movies America. Spoiler. Can't even talk today. Movies America. Spoiler warning. There we go. All right. Yeah. So welcome there, Darth Jason. And so let me get into 28 Weeks Later. So this is This movie came out in 2007, and this is the sequel to 28 Days Later. And this movie was I think this is one of those sequels that's better than the original, because 28 Days Later, when you watch it, it just looks like shit. Just the look of it. Now it's a good movie in that it has a new, fresh look or take on the zombie genre, because I think it's the first movie where it has its zombies moving very, very fast and very hyperactive. Because in 28 Days Later, what makes people zombies is what they call the rage virus. So hence the name of the virus. People are raging. They're getting raging. So they're like a bunch of Tasmanian devils, running around and whatnot. And so it was a refreshing take on the zombie genre from that standpoint. So the first time I saw 28 Days Later and I saw how fast zombies moved in that movie, I was like, holy shit, all right. You ain't outrunning these. You're not throwing on your Nikes and outrunning these zombies in 28 Days Later. But in spite of the fact that it had this fresh take on the zombie genre, it just looks like shit. The cinematography is shit. The picture just looked like muddled and shitty and whatnot, just because it was low budget. And it was directed by Danny Boyle, who some people probably know better from like well, they know him for 28 Days Later too, but they know him for like Slumdog Millionaire and Sunshine and in other movies. Train Spotting, he directed that. But he was kind of in movie jail when he made 28 Days Later, because he had some bigger budget movies that just flopped. And so they were like, all right, Danny Boyle, your last 2 movies have flopped gloriously. So yeah, we're going to give you about $5 to make your next movie. And 28 Days Later looks like it. Okay. And so now 28 Weeks Later came out 5 years later in 2007. And it got a bigger budget. You can definitely tell, but it doesn't lose any of its intensity that 28 Days Later had. And in this one, it takes place in Britain. It's headquartered in Britain mostly, but it's kind of like American characters in it as well. And so the first main character that we meet in this movie is the pictured Robert Carlyle in this, but he's not a zombie when the movie starts, okay? But over the course of the movie, obviously you can tell he gets turned into a zombie there. But yeah, I'm not going to spoil the movie by telling you all about him, but he makes his way eventually to London. And in London, it's like, I think they established it's like 6 months after the original rage virus started, the rage virus pandemic. And the rage virus actually in 28 Days Later, the way it started is they had some monkeys in a lab that they were experimenting on, and they infected the monkeys with this rage virus so that they could use that to develop a cure to the rage virus. Okay. So kind of like how the Wuhan lab, how Fauci, they financed the Wuhan lab to do this this research and create these viruses over there that are deadly, very contagious viruses that kill, obviously. And they do that, supposedly they do that so that they could create cures, vaccines for these. And and obviously, again, we have a real life example of that, right? Through the Wuhan lab and Fauci and others in the United States financing that shit. And obviously, that's how we got the COVID pandemic going. So great job, guys, dumbasses. And so that's how 28 Days Later starts. They're doing same kind of research with monkeys. Well, you get some eco terrorists that are trying to free, animals that are being used in lab experiments, because they're like they're all about the animals and they don't want animals being lab experiments. Well, these dumbass eco terrorists, they break in this lab and they let these rage virus monkeys out. Well, of course, they get attacked by these rage virus monkeys, and then the eco terrorists turn and then they kill the lab technician that's in there, because the lab technician is begging them, do not release these monkeys. You release these monkeys, they're going to attack you. They're going to kill you. And then you're going to get infected and you're going to turn and you're going to kill the next person. Don't do it. And these eco-terrorists like, go fuck yourself. And they open up the cages and boom, that's how the virus starts here. So check out live chat here. So yeah, Dear Sarge, 28 Fauci's Later, the gay porn version. Chicka bow wow. Yes, fuck Fauci. Salty MAGA Matt says absolutely cannot agree with that more. So that would have, if they had like another 28 weeks later, like a sequel or something like that, I wouldn't mind if they had like a scene where they have some douchebag like dressed up like Fauci and Fauci gets eaten by some zombies or something like that. That would be a great way to attract a lot of people to your movie. That is faux show. Or so yeah, it's Salty MAGA Matt. 28 boosters later. Yeah, so yeah, 28 weeks later. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's got a big budget or bigger budget, and it's kind of like it's one of Jeremy Renner's first roles. So before Jeremy Renner was in The Hurt Locker, and before he was Hawkeye, and then it's got Rose Byrne in it as well. So that was before she was in Bridesmaids And what else has she been in so lately? She was in Neighbors with Seth. She played Seth Rogen's wife in Neighbors, and been in some other movies. So when you see Rose Byrne, you'll know who the hell I'm talking about. So yeah, Jeremy Renner, Rose Byrne, Idris Elba, he's in it. He plays like a general or army general or colonel or something like that in this because so London is like, so again, it's 6 months after the rage virus started, and they're in downtown London, and London is like this military fortified base, okay, and they've got it, they think they have it locked down. And so Idris Elba is like the commanding officer of this lockdown military fortress in London. And Rose Byrne is like a scientist. And then Jeremy Renner is one of the soldiers. Harold Perrineau is in this movie as well. A lot of people might know him the best as the guy that got eaten by a grizzly bear in that Alec Baldwin, Anthony Hopkins movie, The Edge. But he's also in the second and third Matrix movie. So Harold Perrineau is in 28 Weeks Later as well. Okay, and so Robert Carlyle, he makes his way to this fortified base. He meets up with his son and daughter there, and some shit goes down. Okay, some unfortunate incidents go down. You get some zombies and some killing and whatnot. It's got one scene in it that is so fucking tense, where they literally have a bunch of just, non-infected people because they think they're in a safe zone, right? And they're in this tunnel, this darkened tunnel. It's pitch black dark, okay, suddenly, because I guess they lose power or something like that. And so you have a zombie. He breaks into this tunnel that they're all in, okay? He breaks into it, and he starts infecting people in the back of the tunnel, okay? And remember, it's pitch black, okay? And so at first, when you first see these people in the tunnel, they're just kind of milling around, kind of hear this, just the voice of, just the sound of a crowd, and then they're all like, oh my God, what's going on, And pretty soon you start hearing, ah, ah, it just screams, and then you hear more and more screams, and then screams get louder and louder and louder and louder, and whatnot. And again, it's pitch black in this tunnel. And it's just a very, very tense screen as more and more people get infected. Okay. Hey, we got some people joining us here. All right. We got, there we go. Mrs. Sarge, there. And got Zombiever didn't make the list. Afraid not. Salty Magamat. I hate Will Smith, but I Am Legend was pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, it was very, had some good emotional moments to it, good action in it as well. So, and we got Professor Savage Dad joining us. Yeah. And he says, oh, that's right. That was vicious. Yeah, see it vicious there. Okay. Hey, Pooh Monkey, how you doing, man? All right. Thanks for joining there. All right. Absolutely. So, yeah, glad you guys could join in. Yeah, talk amongst yourself. Let me know anything that you want about any of the movies that I'm mentioning here. You bet. So, and Salty Magamat, he has uncovered the truth, everybody, whether you like it or not. Apparently the virus came from Pooh Monkey. Yeah, and Professor Savage Dad, yeah, being a badass, I guess. I've got him focused on me and not the strain, and putting up 250 on the bench. Now I'm assuming that's 250 pounds, not ounces, right? So all right. So, yeah, 28 Weeks Later, definitely check it out. It's got some really cool bloody zombie kills in it. And especially they have a zombie kill scene involving rotors from a helicopter. I will just put it like that. I'm sure your imagination can do the rest of the work, okay? All right, and so what could my number one zombie movie of all time be? What could it possibly be? Yes, Dawn of the Dead, the Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead movie from 2004. The very first time I've ever heard of Zack Snyder, okay? Now, I realize that some people curse the day Zack Snyder was born. They curse his name like, Zack Snyder! Not me. I realize he's got some bad movies, but this is one of his good movies, okay? Dawn of the Dead. Just a fantastically, it's just got this vicious sense of humor to it to go with the vicious violence, and it's just got this nastiness to it, right? But a fun kind of nastiness to it. And it does a great job, just like World War Z does, of building up the tension of the impending zombie apocalypse that the poor characters that you see at the very beginning of this movie have no idea is coming. Okay. And so we have Sarah Polley, here, playing a nurse or a doctor, whatever, at a hospital. And you just start hearing whispers of a lot of people, having to go to the hospital, getting picked up by ambulances. Ambulance crews are a lot busier than normal. And just saw it as quarter of my Salty Megamastic. Burt Reynolds was in that one. Yes. Burt Reynolds was in Dawn of the Dead. Yeah. So that's just from another, bitingly funny part of Dawn of the Dead here. But yeah, it builds up that tension, lets you know, like, oh shit, all right, we know something's about to go down, but these poor characters don't know. And then you have Sarah Polley's nurse character, or whatever, nurse doctor, whatever. Okay, not important. She ends up going home, and then then they wake up the next morning, and then before you know it, it's starting. Unaware to the character, it starts. Okay, you get, her husband's attacked by his daughter, and we're off to the races, buddy. We're off to the races, people. We're off to the zombie races, and it's the zombie violence, the kinetic madness has started in Dawn of the Dead, and then she's getting attacked. She makes it outside of her house. She gets to her car, and because she makes it to her car, she drives off. That's when we get our first idea, our first glance at just how widespread all this zombie apocalypse, shit, how wide the zombie apocalypse shit show is, right? You got explosions, and the neighbors are getting attacked, and you get people getting run over by ambulances and shit. People out there with guns, and they're paranoid, and they're threatening to shoot Sarah Polley here, and she's trying to drive and get away, and she runs into a bus, and there is a bus that has people in there getting attacked by zombies on the inside, and of course she's like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" Everything's it's a total fucking shit show going on here in Dawn of the Dead, and then eventually, we just cut to the opening credits after she crashes her car, and the opening credits are just badass. Because you get a classic Johnny Cash tune, when the man comes around playing, and the opening credits does a great job at showing how the pandemic not started, but like the early stages of the pandemic and what happened and that kind of thing, and even the president getting attacked at the White House, and just very intense, very, very intense. Okay, and then we cut to her, and she teams up with Ving Rhames here, and they make their way to the mall, and the Crossroads Mall, and then just when they get in the mall, one of the things I liked in the mall was they have this coffee place called Hallowed Grounds. just kind of edgy, funny wit, in this movie like that, and then pretty soon you've got they run into the security guards there at the mall that don't want to let them in, and they want to kick them out because they're like, the more people that come in, the more of a chance that they could die. At least that's their theory. Hey, what do we got here from Salty Mega Matt? Hey, we got a $2 Rumble rant, and their number one is Shaun of the Dead. Good, not bad. You could definitely have a worse number one than Shaun of the Dead. But yeah, appreciate that $2 Rumble rant. And thanks for the reminder to remind everybody here that, you can, on Rumble, you could do these things called Rumble rants, where if you're appreciating what you're watching and you feel like throwing a little money to the working man right here, then you can give me a Rumble rant. And in order to give a Rumble rant, all you got to do is right down there where you type in your live chat message, you see the little $sign button that you can click on, and you can click on that. And you can just show a little monetary love for yours truly, okay, for putting in work here for you, okay? So, because and I love talking to you guys. I love having you guys on the live chat and the back and forth. But a little bonus is, hey, if someone wants to show a little appreciation, a little cashola for appreciation, by all means. So, but again, Salty Magamat, I salute you. Thank you for the $2. All right. That'll keep that paper boy from Better Off Dead off my ass now. It keeps coming around. I want my $2. All right. So, yeah, getting some good conversation going on in the chat. Professor Savage Dad, bringing it. Oh, yeah, he's raising the Rumble Rant stakes with $5. Yes, there we go. If I'm reading that right. I'm getting blind in my old age, people. Blind, I tell you. Blind. Get it, my man. Get it. Yeah. All right. So, Professor Savage Dad, appreciate the $5 Rumble Rant. You're feeling the love. I'm getting all emotional over here, everybody. Getting all emotional. So, well, we got $2. We got $5. Hey, can we get it up to $10? Can we get $10? Can we get it $20? Can we get it up to $20? Can we get $50? There we go. There we go. I'm going to do my little auctioneer voice over here, okay? Hey, $100, $100 bill. Can I get going? Once, going twice, going sold to the $5 to the Professor Savage Dad. Yep. Absolutely. A lot of Shaun of the Dead love in the live chat. Love it. Yeah, Shaun of the Dead is just, and that's another movie that, I already went over that, but it's got this biting wit to it. And Simon Pegg and Nick Frost have just great chemistry in that movie, and that's why they, did 2 more Edgar Wright movies together as well. So, but yeah, Dawn of the Dead, fantastic movie with some great action sequences in it and some great gore in this. And in the actors, the characters really just blend well with each other. You got Ving Rhames' cop, got Sarah Polley's nurse. You've got the husband and wife with the pregnant wife there, just trying to make it. And Mekhi Phifer plays the husband, Mekhi Phifer from 8 Mile, okay? And, you got the guy on the far left there with the bloodied shirt. And he's Jake, I forget what the actor's name is, Jake something. And, he just kind of plays a calming force in this. And then you got the security guards there. Security guards are there just for hilarious purposes right there. They're quite hilarious there. So Salty Magamat, good point. Seeing a zombie get brain cracks me up. So every zombie movie is a comedy. Yeah, gotta love it. So I'm surprised I'm not hearing some Zombieland love in the live chat, because that's got some really funny, ingenious zombie kills in there. Like what was one of the zombie kills of the week was like someone dropping a piano on a zombie. I love it. I fucking love it. I'll tell you. And then again, like I said before, like Woody Harrelson's at the amusement park. He's like on the roller coaster, killing zombies there. He's on I can't remember the spinning amusement park ride. He's got a Mac 10 or something, and he's mowing down zombies and shit. I love it. I love it. So, but yeah, Salty Mag said, yeah, Zombieland was dope. I never saw the second one. Yeah, don't bother with the second one. I thought the second one was kind of stupid. There was trying too hard. And Till Death podcast, Zombieland is awesome. Cardio, yes, exactly. Yeah, don't be one of the fatties. Don't be one of the fatties that goes first. Okay, and the double tap. Yeah, like he says, don't be stingy with your bullets, because then you're going to be a human Happy Meal. Don't do it. Who else we got in here? So yeah, some good ones. Good dialogue going on in this live chat. But then also the World War Z. Dawn of the Dead really gets ramped up in here when we get some other survivors that make it to the mall, and you get just some. You get the one asshole character, because it seems like all these zombie movies have to have like one real, just genuine, just grade A, world class asshole character. And that's where you get Ty Burrell plays the asshole character. And that's before Ty Burrell was in Modern Family. So when you see Ty Burrell, you'll see him in Dawn of the Dead, and you're like, oh yeah, it's a guy from Modern Family. Okay, yeah, he's hilarious. He's not at all in Modern Family like is in Dawn of the Dead, but yeah, he's a world great prick in in Dawn of the Dead here, but they show up in there, and I do like when they show up that they have kind of a chill moment because again, remember all these people are in a shopping mall, so they fortify the shopping mall so that zombies can't get in. Okay, and so that gives them a little quiet time, away from the zombie apocalypse, and so all these characters get to know each other. You get a couple of characters that really get to know each other, okay? Because old Ty Burrell is playing, hide the salami with one of the other zombie survivors in this movie. So one of the rare zombie movies where you have like a kind of a pretty gratuitous sex scene in it. Till Death Podcast. You're absolutely right. So yeah, the dude with the goatee is he's the right hand man. He's the fixer to Kevin Spacey's character in House of Cards. What is that actor's name? In that, but you see him. He's not just the fixer in House of Cards. He plays the fixer in a lot of TV series. So he's like in this new Paramount Plus series called Lioness. I don't know if he plays a fixer character in that one, but yeah, he's like, it seems like his character is always associated with the government in some capacity there. But yeah, he's also in what else? It was also in the Jack Ryan series on Prime there with John Krasinski as well. So yeah, a lot of things that he's in there. So, but good spot. Yeah, Pooh Monkey. That part with Woody and his dual pistols was great. Yeah, I love that scene. Thank God for rednecks. Then he paints the number 3 for Dale Earnhardt on the yellow Hummer. What do we got? Salty Magamat. I saw Dawn of the Dead in the theater, and I was upset when they called out for Rosie O'Donnell, and they cut away. Yeah. Till that by this government is full of zombies, so technically House of Cards is a zombie show. You know what? When you're right, you're right. So, but yeah, Dawn of the Dead is it's got the edge to it, and then one of the funny parts of this to go along with the edge is I like how they have Disturbed do their version of their little cheesy, I guess, Richard Cheese version. So I guess it's not Disturbed that does it, but Richard Cheese does a corny version of we're gonna get down with the sickness. You gotta get down with the sickness. Like right in the middle of the movie. I thought that's kind of funny. It's not scary, but it is funny. That they have the Richard Cheese version of Down with the Sickness, and then they have the actual the legit version of not legit, but the actual version of Down with the Sickness at the end credits of Dawn of the Dead. So yeah, Dick Cheese is hilarious. And he is hilarious there till that podcast. He is absolutely. And again, I want to thank everybody for joining the live chat and joining Movies Mag and Spoiler One tonight, because you guys are down with the sickness. Yes. Now that's probably going to make everyone want to leave because I'm bringing the cheese big time. Yeah, the Dick Cheese. That's gross. All right, so there we go. Yeah. I was gonna say, hopefully I didn't make a jump, but that's the whole point. And she's from Dawn of the Dead. There you go. But yeah, check out Dawn of the Dead if you haven't seen it. But I imagine like most, if not all of you, have seen Dawn of the Dead. And again, it's got some great zombie kills. Particularly like when they get all those buses all fortified up, those buses that the mall has, and they have to make their way out through the crowd of zombies, use the propane tanks to detonate, and incinerate a bunch of fucking zombies and shit. So badass. And the ending is so subversive, and it's just a fantastic movie. And it's got some emotion to this as well, to Dawn of the Dead. And now I like the 1978 version of Dawn of the Dead as well, but Dawn of the Dead, just for the fact that they had more money and it's edgier and bloodier, I like this one better. And it kind of just was kind of a prediction of things to come from Zack Snyder, because he's made some duds. Okay, Man of Steel. But he's also made some good ones, like 300. I believe was his next movie after this. Watchmen was a fucking epic movie from Zack Snyder and that kind of thing. So, and then of course he made Army of the Dead, is another zombie movie that he made, which is not anywhere near as good as Dawn of the Dead, but it's got another interesting take on the zombie genre, and setting the zombies in Las Vegas and that kind of thing. So it's so Dawn of the Dead, definitely check it out. But that has been my top 5 zombie movies of all time. All right, hey, I hope you're down with the sickness. All right, all right. I'm gonna cut myself off from doing that. Salty Magamat. I just saw an ad that they gave Daryl Dixon his own show. Yes, they did. So they the creators of Walking Dead, they are definitely trying to bleed that turnip dry right there, the Walking Dead universe. So, and hey, more power to them, man. I'll tell you, if they're going to get the ratings and the money for that, hey, can't blame them. There's money in them there Walking Dead hills, absolutely. What was that one? Bruce Willis. A zombie movie with Bruce Willis? Yeah, I can't think of one that Bruce Willis movie that had zombies in it. So, 300 guy. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. But there we go. Hey, if you guys can all help out Salty Magamat, so there you go with that. It's probably going to be something that I'm going to feel stupid about, like, oh, that movie. Okay, there we go. But I can't for the life of me think of any Bruce Willis zombie movies, if that's what you're asking. But yeah, so yeah, top 5 zombie movies of all time. So let's get right there. All right, let's say sayonara to that whole segment. What do you say? All right, so let's check out some chats. We got you got a good Daryl Dixon show conversation going here and whatnot. So yeah, it's how many Walking Dead shows are there? Obviously, there's started out with The Walking Dead, then there's Fear of the Walking Dead. Then there wasn't there one that, or maybe there's still one where it takes place in New York City. Then you get the Daryl Dixon one coming up here. So, and then they had a bunch of like Walking Dead shorts. I know they had that. That's good. Yeah, good point there. Till Death Podcast is like The Walking Dead is more about humanity than The Walking Dead, because you watch enough of The Walking Dead, it doesn't take you long to realize that The Walking Dead, the actual zombies or the walkers that they call them, different people call them different things. They are kind of an afterthought. It's the humans that are to fear, and then also it concentrates on the human relationships in that in that show, and that's The Walking Dead is another example of a zombie property where you really start to care about the characters and you do not want them to die, but unfortunately some of them do, and in horrific fucking shocking ways. And as we saw when they introduced Negan in a very brutal way, I had some characters die that we cared about, and that did turn a lot of people off of that show after the big brutal Negan introduction and whatnot. I'm not gonna say who he killed, any beloved characters that he killed, because I'm gonna spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen The Walking Dead. But we got Fear of the Walking Dead, The Walking Dead World Beyond. There you go. Darth Jason, I hear Zombieland may come true soon enough. You never know. Everybody be prepared. Okay, so get your stock up on yellow Hummers and black paint, so you can put your number 3 on there, and plenty of ammo, plenty of guns. Sin City, yeah. So that didn't really have zombies in it, but that's why I couldn't think of it right there. But that's another very edgy, gory movie, absolutely, from the mind of Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino there. Negan is Negan. I was God, what's the actor's name that plays him? You always forget it at the worst times. So, but Negan's character got introduced in a fucking brutal way. That I saw his character and get introduced like, holy fucking shitballs. Holy shit. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Thank you. Thank you. I should know Jeffrey Dean Morgan because he was the comedian on Watchmen, and it was a hilarious character on Watchmen. The comedian. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So let's check out. Let's move on a little bit, huh? What do you say? What do you say from that? But getting some good zombie conversation going on. And I want to tell you guys all about something here. I want to share. I'm in a sharing mood, okay? And I'm going to share all about Movies America Mad Libs. Yeah, Movies America Mad Libs. So let me get that going on here. Okay. All right. So, yeah, earlier I told you all about tdpn.locals.com, our website that has our content there. And I kind of hinted at a new feature of tdpn.locals.com. And that is the Movies America Mad Libs here. So let me scroll down. There we go. Get a little graphic going on. Movies America Mad Libs. And so the reason that I came up with this idea and wanted to put this out there is I wanted to have kind of like a fun interactive exercise between myself and all of you, all of the adoring fans of the Till Death Podcast Network. And it just gives you the chance to get creative, okay? Get creative in the form of adding lines to a movie script, okay? And you can write whatever you want as part of this Movies America Mad Libs movie script. And so how it works is, you just come out here to tdpn.locals.com. And now you can only participate in this if you are a paying customer, so a premium customer of tdpn.locals.com. But like I said before, if you go out there right now and you put in promo code TDPN, you get a free month of premium features and that kind of thing, like the Movies America Mad Libs. Okay, so you get premium privileges. And so that month should be plenty long enough to come out here and participate in Movies America Mad Libs. Okay. And so basically how it works here, and I'll just scroll down here, kind of show you, is I've created a scene 2 of a Movies America Mad Libs script. Okay. We already did scene 1 a few months back. Okay. And so now we're on to scene 2. And so, yeah, we just have this movie script that I've started. And here's our 3 characters. And you'll be able to read over the 3 characters. We have Holster McKennesy, Patsy Penicillin, and Nigel Nightworm are our 3 characters for Movies America Mad Libs. And as you can see, I've written like the first few lines for each of the characters here that you can use to kind of get the flavor of this script and, kind of use this as part of your writing, or not. You don't have to. But so, yeah, I'll just kind of start off here with our first line here. So Holster says, Jesus, the inside of that Uber smelled like a bunch of fucking bananas incubated inside Lizzo. And Nigel's like, my eyes are still watering. And Patsy's like, Holster, you could have found sweet relief by sticking your nose into my beautiful blonde locks. Holster's like, I would have rather fell for the banana in Lizzo's tailpipe. Nigel, so do you think he'll show up? And so this is kind of like that banter back and forth between the characters, and that's kind of like the flavor, the nature of the back and forth and of the script itself. And so where you guys come in is obviously, my lines for this script stop down here below, and it stops on Patsy's last line where she says, this is so exciting. It's not every day you might get to meet. And then you get to put who they meet as part of this scene right here. And the scene takes place here, as you see here. It takes place outside of the Mar-a-Lago main gate. Okay, so that's where your contribution to the script starts. Is you put who they're going to meet, and then you can write as many lines as you want for this script. 1 line per character, please. Okay. And so where you put your lines is just down here. Just click on the comments. Okay, down here. Okay. And that'll take us there. Okay. And right here down in the comments, this is where you can start putting your lines right there. So you can do this. And start writing. Okay. All right. I'll just do this. There's Eric Estrada. I don't know why his name is the first one that came into my head. So, but yeah, we could start. Hey, they're meeting Eric Estrada there at the outside of the the Mar-a-Lago gate, okay? And then you can start putting the next lines, like and then you're so handsome, man. I mean, just start writing your lines. And so, yeah, again, one line per character, please. And then just keep on writing and writing and writing in the comments, okay? Right there. And now it's only 3,000 characters per comment, but then you could leave another comment, put the rest of it and whatnot. And then myself and then Ian and Sean, the other two parts of the Till Death Podcast Network, we are going to read what you write, okay? Your contributions, okay? And we're going to figure out like what the best lines are, okay? And then we're going to do a live table read here on Movies America spoiler warning later on, shortly. And then we have to read whatever you write, okay? And we have to do it in character, okay? And as you saw, one of the characters is Patsy Penicillin, the hairdresser / whore that one of us is going to have to play. I had to play her for scene one. I had the privilege playing Patsy Penicillin there. But yeah, so that's your chance. Again, like I said, it's your chance to get creative and to torture us, okay, by writing some lines, whatever lines you want, because, when you're writing those lines, just remember, myself and Ian and Sean, we have to read those lines in character during a live table read here on this show. Okay, so it's going to be hilarious for you and a nightmare for us. Okay, so that's Movies America Mad Libs there, everybody. Okay, and so yeah, get in there and check that out. Let's check out our live chats here now that I've done my due diligence. And so yeah, so there we go. So that's just getting some good engagement here in the live chat. Appreciate everybody for joining me here and whatnot. So I like to go out there and join other people's shows on Rumble. Like Darth Jason has a show, and I haven't seen We Are the Show in here quite yet. Maybe Dean will join us, and I haven't seen Kang in here. Maybe I'm blind. I haven't seen Kang in here. So Red Pill Fight Club. Maybe we have some Reapers in here. In here. So yeah, but if there's Reapers in here, sound off. Definitely want to hear from the Reapers and the Darksiders as well. But so I like to go out there and check out other people's shows, and I really appreciate it when people check out this show here as well. And hey, if there's anybody that you even have an inkling that you think would like this show, let them know about it. Okay, yeah, just send them the link. Tell them to check out Movies America on Rumble. And yeah, get them on in here. Let's get La Familia bigger, okay? Yeah, let's get it El Grande, or I'm sure I'm butchering the Hispanic language there. Okay, so all right, let's wrap up this bad boy, huh? Let's wrap up Movies America spoiler warning. The sun's getting really low, okay? And we're going to bring it down to a close. Everybody's getting down with the sickness, and it's time to wrap it up. Okay, so with that being said, with me saying that, people can't wait for me to wrap this up soon enough, right? All right, so we're going to wrap it up with our first mention of www.moviesmerica.com. So what's the significance of moviesmerica.com? Well, that's one place you can check out the audio-only versions of my Movies America spoiler-free reviews that come out every Sunday afternoon. If you don't want to check it out there at moviesmerica.com, you can listen to the audio-only versions on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, any place you can think of that would have podcasts. And if you listen to them out there, give it a 5-star rating if you would. Okay, I definitely would appreciate that, but only if you think it honestly deserves a 5-star rating. Okay, I'm not looking for charity, nothing like that. And then also, if you're listening to them out there, you can follow the show out there as well. You can follow or whatever, subscribe to the show. And do that, okay? But why would you want to listen when you could just check out this chiseled mug? Absolutely. Okay, so moving on to the social medias. So I'm on Twitter, or X now, and Instagram under @MoviesAmerica. And I'm also on Facebook as well under Movies America there. So check me out there. And I put my posts, my movie related posts and that kind of thing out there you can check out. So you won't be sorry because all my posts are totally genius and not stupid at all. Yeah. But also going out and checking me out at Movies America is a convenient place to get links to these shows. Okay. And, if you're like wondering, like, when's that Movies America spoiler warning show coming out? Well, hey, don't worry. Just go to at Movies America on X or Instagram or Facebook, and you'll get the links there. Okay. All right, moving on. TDPN.locals.com. Just told you about that, our website. So definitely check that out for the cool content and Movies America Mad Libs. And of course, with every great empire, like the Roman Empire, the Ottoman Empire, and the Till Death Podcast Network Empire, you have merch. Okay, every great empire has merch, and so check out our merch store down in the description there, or if you want to memorize that address and type that all out. Or you want to do it the easy way and just go down to the description and click on, the merch store link and get yourself some fantastic Till Death Podcast Network merch or Movies America merch, Sipping with Sean merch, Till Death Podcast merch, the Whiskey Capitalist Podcast merch, just a whole lot of merch. And I'm going to stop saying the word merch now. Okay. Moving on to at Till Death Network at solo.to/Till Death Pod Network. And that's where you can get all the links that have anything to do with the Till Death Podcast Network. Okay, just trying to make life easy on you by giving you a one-stop shop for that. And then also we have solo.to/Till Death Studios. And that's where you go if you want to get into the content creation game like me or Ian and Sean, on Rumble or YouTube or Twitch or wherever, okay? And you want to have some cool graphic flair to go with your content, like the background that you see here, the Movies America background or the intros that you saw earlier. Ian can work his magic and create things like that for you, okay? And to enhance your content that you want to put out there, okay? So he did a bang-up job on all this, wouldn't you say, everybody? Yeah, bang-up job, fantastic job. And so if you want the same for you, then solo.to/Till Death Studios is where you get the ball rolling on that. Yes, don't hesitate. Just do it. All right, and solo.to/I'm Sean Cav. That's where you can go and find all the links to everything that Sean Cav has to offer for the Till Death Podcast Network, which is a lot, okay, including his Sipping with Sean show that comes out every other Friday afternoon. You can primarily see him on the Whiskey Capitalist Podcast show every Monday and Wednesday night as well there. But solo.to/I'm Sean Cav for all the Sean Cav links. Moving on steadily, we have our solo.to/the Whiskey Capitalist for all the links that have to do with the aforementioned The Whiskey Capitalist podcast show that comes on, again, every Monday and Wednesday night that I'm sure a lot of people in the live chat here check out. I know you guys do. It's a fantastic show all about the latest and greatest topics of the day, including politics and controversy, and also they got some great funnies in there as well, with some occasional guests, just like we get occasional guests on this show as well. All right, and then last but not least, solo.to/Till Death Podcast, and that's where you can go for all the links that have to do with the Till Death Podcast show that Ian and his lovely bride, Jen, do every other Saturday afternoon, where they give you the husband and wife perspective on hot button topics and politics and events of the day and funnies and that kind of thing. And they do it from their little cozy confines of their basement there, I believe. It's just, when I watch the show, I'm like, well, it looks like a nice little cozy nook kind of spot that they do the show from. It's fantastic. Dear Sarge, on smoke break. Hello to everyone. I didn't greet yet. Yes, not the most proficient multitasker. Hey, but you're doing a bang up job, man. Bang up job. And Mrs. Sarge goes on to say, me too. I'm getting a husband and wife vibe there. Even me with my limited intellect can pick up on that. So there you go. If that is the case, welcome, Sarge couple, Mr. and Mrs. Sarge, to the show. Okay. So, all right. So that let's move that out there. And everybody, I was going to again thank everybody for joining me for this World War Z edition of the Movies America Spoiler Warning Show. it has been my honor to be your humble host, Van Ebert, for this show. So yeah, if you haven't seen any of the zombie movies that I had in my top 5, go check it out. I suspect maybe Train to Busan is the one that maybe most people haven't seen. And don't be afraid that it's a South Korean movie. Don't be afraid of that. So because it's when you watch it, I mean, I think you probably have to have the subtitles on because I don't think it's dubbed. But eventually the subtitles just won't even be a thing to you, and you'll just enjoy it for just the intense, kinetic, frenetic zombie movie that Train to Busan is. Okay, but hey, again, as I wrap it up here, what do we got, Mrs. Sarge? Next week, there we go. Yeah, rant on the laptop. All right, there you go. All right, hey, got that to look forward to. Definitely next week, we'll definitely want to check you. Have you and Mrs. Sarge check out, and Zombiever is still the funniest, especially opening scene. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out Zombiever, I'll tell you. So you have officially got my attention on Zombiever, so I'm gonna check that out because I feel like I got that FOMO going on. Okay. All right, and Dear Sarge says Train to Busan was epic. Yes, it was. All right. Okay, everybody. With that, hey, everybody, get out there. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya.
Hey, everybody! Hey, don't leave yet, okay? I got the police after me, and I got just enough time to ask you to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you would. I'll be in handcuffs here pretty soon, anytime, okay? I got just enough time to ask you to also like these or watch these videos and like them as well, okay? All right? Hey, thanks for watching this video and the Till Death Podcast Network. I gotta go.